So proud of people.
Okay, so list of universities in Arizona. Then when you search it, you're going to see the list there. We have Arizona State University. Um, you can get other things as well. For example, you can use the US report here. These are the universities in Arizona. We have University of Arizona here, Arizona State University, Northern Arizona University, right? Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Prescott. So all this, and we have University of Arizona Christian University, right? Prescott College, Grand Canyon University, Arizona College of Nursing, Tempe, Aspen University, blah blah, in Arizona, right? Then you come to check more about the interest, or like if you want the top class schools, it is including the ones with the 5 stars and the 4 stars, right? So this is a 4.5 rating, and this is 4.5 rating, right? And this is 4.5 rating. So let's say here the best top schools in Arizona is Arizona University of Arizona, Arizona State University, and Northern Arizona University. So you write them down, then you come and limit it again, right? Arizona, University of Arizona, right? So University of Arizona. So you come and search about it. University of Arizona, University. University of Arizona, University of Arizona, Arizona, Arizona. Great. So you search for it, University of Arizona. This is University of Arizona. Then you come to check the acceptance rate, right? So the acceptance rate is 87%. That means there's likelihood of admission, right? Any school with the acceptance rate is more than 50 to 100, it's a good one, right? There are some schools with acceptance rate of 2%, 3%, 10%. Don't try, right? If you can try anyways, but it is more of competition, right? It is more competitive. It's very difficult for you to go into it. For example, if I try check Google, let me check Harvard. See Harvard University, Harvard University, Harvard University. What is the acceptance rate here? Please, who can see the acceptance rate for Harvard University? Hello?
3%.
It's 3%, right? So if you would want to go to Harvard University as an international student of your kind, and you are just interested in I'm going to Harvard University regardless, and the acceptance rate is 3% and you apply, likelihood of admission is very low, right? Then Arizona State, let me use Arizona. Yeah, like Arizona, which has acceptance rate of 87%, right? So 3 and 87. Okay, so you come and check out their programs. Arizona programs, what it is. So this is Arizona University, University of Arizona. Yeah. So you come and check um, their programs, right? Explore programs. So you come check out University of Arizona catalog. So you check, these are their programs: accounting, adult teaching, aerospace engineering, and it is specifically indicated either if it's a PhD program or it is a master's program. So you check it: agriculture education, agricultural leadership, blah 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 blah. So you said you wanted to do IT, so check it out until you get a related one. You get a related one, apply mathematics, aquaculture, blah 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 blah, art, art education, then astronomy, atmospheric. Okay, so we are going to the C. It is arranged in alphabetical order, so I'm pretty sure we are going to see computer or IT in the C, or in the I column, right? So cancer, cellular, chemical engineering, chemistry, civil engineering, um, collaborative communication, com, com, computational social sciences, computer science, um, computer science, some more masters. They also have, okay, so IT. Let me quickly go to IT and see. Yeah, they have cybersecurity here as well, right? Cyber and Master of Information, Information Operations. So cyber security and other people who are interested in cybersecurity can explore such. So you go until you get to I, which is the information technology. I don't know if they have educational programs as well, right? So I just want to use this as a demo, right? To showcase this to everyone who will be starting the process. That this is how we search for schools. Either you use the generalist point of view, which I'm using right now. You start from the mother search, then you narrow it down to your program to find out the specifics, or you go from the specifics to the general, right? So I just want to find your IT program for you. Um, okay, so I'm pretty sure IT will be around here. They have sports master programs and stuff there. So they have information master, so information science, um, information science. I don't know if this information science will have some technology in it, so you can check more on this, right? To give you the overview of the program, blah 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 blah. Then we look at it to see if it is the one you are interested in or not, right? If that is not what you are interested in, then you continue with your search to explore more, right? So first of all, that is the generalist point of searching. You search the state, the universities in there, then you go by the programs to see, you read about the programs, their mode, either it is online or it is face-to-face or virtual, sorry, or blended, right? So one thing that you have to know is that if you want to come here as F1 student who will be having a full-time session in campus and on campus, you should go in for face-to-face or in-person masters, right? If you are just bent on getting a master degree, you go in and finally you find out that it is an online master degree or virtual, blended master degree where you are to do part online and part face-to-face. So that one, I don't know how beneficial it's going to be for you online in Ghana. You have to travel to the United States for some face-to-face interaction or stuff, right? So be sure of all this. That is the generalist point of view. Then we have to come to the specific point of view, right? With a specific point of view, you know the school you are applying to, right? So for example, Alabama State University, Alabama State University. So you know specific. So Alabama State University, graduate admissions programs and measures. So you go straight to the program. These are the programs. It's either you are any of this department, business administration, health sciences, university college, department of aerospace science, visual performing art, education. So you check it out until you get your program and get the necessary requirement, right? So I will stop sharing screen here. That is the specific approach. That one, you know the school you are applying to, you know the state you are applying to. But with the generalist type, You don't know the state. All that you know is your program that you want to do, right? So you are hunting to see the school that is available to offer your program or has a good structure for your program. That is the generalist. You don't know your school, you don't know anything. But with a specialist or the specific approach, you know the school, you know the state, you know the country, right? So you go straight and get your information done. So this is basically about how to start the search, right? And people try with ideas of waivers, right? People are moved to apply to schools where there are waivers, where they are not going to pay application fees. So as you are searching around, and you'll be gathering all this information, right? There are some of my colleagues who do that work and compile schools with waivers and share. I am yet to do that, but I am not a big fan of waivers, right? Because if you would want to get early bird schools in the United States, like those who are high class schools, they don't mostly give waivers. They don't mostly give waivers because they are expensive, they are very competitive, and they just don't give waivers most of the times. Some do give, but they mostly don't. So if you are always bent on getting waivers before you apply, you can be disappointed along the way, or you might have unfulfilled dreams or visions. Let me put it that way, because I know some of my colleagues who were very good, they had first class a lot, right? But they were all waiting on free waivers instead of them gathering some 1,200 CDs, 900 CDs, 700 CDs to pay application fee. They were waiting until they get free application, and they couldn't get a good school, right? All the schools they got were the backyard schools in the United States, right? So I would encourage you to make investment in your own education, right? Waivers are good. There is no two ways about it, but I have not been a product of it. So that is it. So that is it. Any other question? Yeah, let's use cybersecurity. Yes. So you were interested in cybersecurity there. So you can explore more on cybersecurity using the the steps I used to um, show you how to search for a school using the general specific. Great. So any additional question or any other extra question from anybody? Yeah. If you can ask, you can put it in a chat. If you're having other serious friends who would want to embark on this journey, you can share this link with them to join, to enjoy these sessions as well. Any other question, you can go ahead and ask. If you can ask verbally, you can put it in a chat. I'll read it and I'll act it. I'll act on it.
Okay, okay, thank you very much for the wonderful experience and the information. Mine has to do with the application of the scholarships, how to
Yep.
maybe apply for a scholarship. But you see, maybe when you're applying for a school, like how are you going to go about the scholarship process? Yeah, that's important.
Okay, that is a great question, and I really commend you for that, because that is the centrality of the entire success of the program you are trying to do, want to do. So first of all, in your application process or in your search for schools, you would have to be convinced that the school is having funding opportunities for international students. And all comes back to the basis of effective communication. Effective communication with faculty is one of the secrets to the success of all these study abroad initiatives, right? So first of all, you must be convinced by the available information that either the school, your program, or there are other external source of funding for you to get to
Okay,
school.
okay,
So when you're applying, there are places for you to indicate if you are interested in graduate assistantship, before you check and pay attention to such options in your application process. Sometimes it's just a ticking of a box, or it's just by indicating yes. Make sure you indicate that you are interested in career assistantship. By then, you might have been told, or you might have gathered a lot of information about it from either the site of the program or the university, or specifically confirmation from the program director or the faculty in charge of the program at your university, where you had already asked that are they available opportunities, funding, career assistantship, research assistantship, administrative assistantship for international students, and it has been confirmed that yes, there is. Then you can go ahead. That fine. I can have a career assistantship, a research assistantship, a teaching assistantship, or administrative assistantship, or any other source of funding. Then you are convinced
Okay.
with the component of that funding. Does it cover your base tuition, right? Does it give you additional stipends to keep you up? Does it cover your health insurance?
Mm-hmm.
Does it cover your feeding? Does it cover your book
Mm-hmm.
supplies, right? But the most basic one is covering your tuition. If your tuition is covered, other ways of sustaining yourself and getting upkeep and stuff, you can find a way to get it done. But you must be convinced with the component of the funding. Sometimes there are some career assistantship that give you the stipends alone, how to keep you up, but you have to pay your fees, right?
Oh,
That
okay.
one
Okay.
is very burdensome. There are some career assistantship that will cover your tuition, but will not give you stipends for your upkeep and will not cover your insurance, your health insurance, and other things.
Okay.
There are some of the career assistantship that will cover your tuition, will give you stipends, and will not cover the other things, right? And there are assistantship that will cover everything, right? It will cover your cover. It will cover your tuition. It will cover your health insurance. It will give you monthly stipends or weekly stipends. There are some with bi-weekly. Some they give 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks they will give you some money to keep yourself up, right? So you have to be convinced of all this before you step into it, else you will be confused. You have a graduate
Okay.
assistantship, all right, but it is just to give you stipends, but you have to pay your own fee,
Yeah.
right? And
Okay.
that one
So, you know,
very burdensome.
okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So, if I heard you well, then I think that the best way to go about it is before you even start application. Like, I think then it's very important for you to consult the, what do you call, the faculty members, or I don't know, before you even start application. Or I'm not getting it right.
That
That's
is
that's maybe.
that is what worked for me, and that is my best suggestions or recommendation of every single one, right? So that you will not be like surprised, or you will not be shocked, right? So please give me 1 minute. Let me answer this call on WhatsApp and come back. Less than a minute. Okay, guys, I'm super grateful for your time. I think I'm back. I had to answer some short call on WhatsApp. So basically, that is it, right? Just know what you are going in for. And one secret I always hold is that be very intentional about what you want to do and what you want to get, right? What you want to get and what you want to do. Don't just do things by try and error. No, like know that this is good, like it's good, like the indications are proving that. So that is with the funding. If you are convinced with the funding, then you put in the application, right? So that is
Okay.
what I would have to
Okay.
say at distance, right? I don't know if there is any follow-up or any other thing to talk about.
Yeah. So, my follow-up question is that is there a specific procedure to follow so that you can contact the faculty members, or you have to write a letter? I don't know how you're gonna contact them to guide you through that process and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so there is no clear-cut format of reaching out to faculty members, but um, there is some courteous components you must capture it. You must capture in your your email to professors or to coordinators of your program. These coordinators or professors are very busy, but in the United States, one thing is they have very responsive email system, especially when it comes to professors, right? Or it comes to coordinators of program. They are very fast with their emails, especially from my experience. Very fast with their emails. They respond very fast, quick, and they will get to you according to the prompt you raise in your mail, right? So
Oh,
you
okay.
can draft something in a form of maximum of 4 paragraphs, right? So the first paragraph talking about yourself, who you are. My name is Tony Jima, right? A graduate from the University of Cape Coast in social science education, a second class upper with CGP of 3.5 over a 4.0 skill. I have been exploring further studies opportunities at Alabama State University, right? And upon coming into contact with the curriculum and instruction master's program, I have decided to explore more about it to deepen my interest in putting in an application for 2025, right? Then you come, that's your first paragraph. Then your second paragraph, why you develop interest in it. You've gone through the faculty and the research interest of the faculty, and you've come to appreciate that your interest aligns with the interest of Professor Asumesi, who
Okay,
is going
okay.
to explore ABCD, and that you would love to grow in an environment like this where there can be a lot of collaboration, learning, and a lot of exploration in that field, right? Then you come to the last or third paragraph, you talk about your readiness to be open to other form of information. If there are other engagement sessions, you'll be much pleased to get those opportunities to know more about the program, experiences of students, right? And stuff. So you get that one, then you attach your CV, like you can add, I kindly find attach, or I have attached a copy of my resume and my academic transcript for your review and further suggestions. Then you reiterate your commitment that you remain committed um, to exploring more or to getting more information on the program to enable you put in
Wow.
application and stuff, right? Then you thank the person, then you send it, right? They
Okay,
are
so you have to even add your transcript to your what do you call it? A transcript, right?
yeah, because it's a very competitive program. So
Wow.
what will draw the attention of the professor to you? Because there are a number of people that are reaching out to him, okay, or to him, or to them, right?
Okay.
But how are you going to stand out? You have to be very organized, very like you should be very clear with it.
So that you can stand tall.
Yeah, so that they can know this guy is very serious. But if you have a meal with all this necessary without all this necessary information or without this necessary element, they are just going to treat you as just normal people. Or like
Okay.
there are several complaints where African students or people from other part of the world try to reach out to faculty and they just use informal words like they are chatting their friends jargons like I believe by the grace of
Wow.
God you are doing well. Like not all these professors are Christians or they are religious, right? You should be professional in
Yeah,
your sounding. Like you should
it's
sound,
supposed to be formal, like formal.
yeah, you should be very formal, right? So that is basically what um so that is when it comes to reaching out to them. When you get a very good person who will respond promptly, oh, the person will be very happy. Okay, so ABC, then you follow up. right? One clear virtue of study abroad in this contest is consistency, right? You should be very consistent, but very professional. So if the professor reach out back to you, then you follow up with another form of email, right? The next time,
Okay.
following the correspondence from the professor or from the coordinator, then you add up to talk about another thing again, right? Where you talk about, okay, so what are some of I would like to get further insight about this questions or these questions according to data and information available. One, how many international students were admitted into your program? How many of them received funding? What are some sort of support system for international students? Like you ask all these things just to gather a lot of information to suit you yourself, right?
Wow.
So that one will be well cleared by the professor. And all this, the professor is going to see that indeed you are very curious and you know what you want to do. One clear
Okay.
principle of lifestyle in the United States, a core value and a virtue that is cherished by the culture here is just show up. Just show up. Let them see you are ready to get it done. You don't know how
Wow.
it is done, but you are ready to learn to do how it is done. Like that is it.
Okay. Okay.
Right. If you show up, you're able to communicate how you feel, what you think, how you think things will work, and it will just fix itself up and you get
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm
great.
grateful. Thank you very much.
Okay. So
Okay. So
yeah.
I will be very happy if maybe we share sample of the maybe the mailings, maybe a sample, or let me say in various pages so that you can use that as a prerequisite or stuff like that. And maybe you can use it to draft out yeah,
Okay, great. So
how to go about this.
mostly other colleagues who guide other friends from Ghana or from any other part of Africa or other part of the world to come to take any decision of study abroad. They don't like sharing their personal statements, their
Yeah.
reasoning, because of other reasons. But for me, I am not a fan of it. Just that sometimes I become a bit afraid of breaching of privacy
Plagiarism. Yeah.
and a lot of this scenarios where someone will screenshot it and will just write everything
Oh, okay.
exactly and send it and stuff. So I decide to always give the guideline on how it is done, see how it is done, then you will situate it in your context. But if there is a special case that you want to get to see the format, you can let me know. I can reach out to you privately to talk about it.
Okay.
But I think last week I could share my screen to give the format of how I wrote mine. So those who were there last week had the opportunity to see how I
Oh, okay. 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 Okay.
structured my
Thank you
my
very much.
deal. But I will make some time and get it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank
Okay,
you.
great.
Thank you very much.
So I don't know if there are additional questions or any other thing that someone. Oh, okay, so I can see Freeman, Mr. Ahin, Tony Brown, Shum, Joshua Kweju. If there are any other thing you want to know, let me know of it. If you are at any point you want some clarification, you want there are a lot of information, and I can't give all of it here, right? So it will only come up when you ask the question. So when your question comes, then the information will flow to that direction, right? So that it will be well relevant. It will be very relevant than presenting a chunk of information which sometimes might not be relevant at this point in time or to your situation. But when your question come, your concerns come, your experience come, then it comes together and meets each of these halfway. So it will make the experience quite enriched. Okay, so it's an hour. It's an hour. We started two, sorry, we started six and it's seven, right? Uh, yeah, and it's seven. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just want to get to know your final words or something you want to find out. Then we wrap up quickly, and we all have some time for ourselves as well. So Freeman, Joshua, Ahin, Ima, if you have any concern, you can voice it out so that we talk about one thing that I want to also put on board or like bring on board. That is the right thing to say. Is get a good professional outlook. What do I mean by get a good professional? Get a LinkedIn account, right? Get a LinkedIn account. Let your profile be rich, not necessarily bringing things you've not done or like bragging or saying things you've not done or which is no you. Craft yourself well in your personal profile, right? Craft yourself well, get a good picture, your current experiences, your education, your interests, like you can outline all of them there. Prospective coordinators or professors, go ahead to check all of them, your post, like what you have been doing, what you've been talking about. All these things are important, right? So I have seen most of my colleagues, they only check their LinkedIn accounts and they tailor their profile when they need a specific attention of some professors or some schools. It is there that they are going to share their last 6 years experience in teaching. And I don't know how it moves some professors, but for me, I would see it to be you are making it up, you are making things up, right? But if you had started earlier and you had been posting, that is who you are, and that is what you think, right? That is what you are passionate about, but not necessarily you are starting application process in November, and in October you've started doing giddy, giddy, giddy. I'm not moved by that, but it really works. And my advice is get a LinkedIn account, get profiles, share experience, lessons learned, NSS, classroom, teaching, uh, internships. Like try putting out something awards that you've taken, like just put leadership experiences, certificates you've done, online courses you've done, like events you've been to, like just share this experiences and lessons, right? It really calls for a lot of attention on you, not necessarily for fame, but to let other people see how you are promising, like how you are growing and how possible you can contribute to the welfare of society. Like great. So that is another thing. Any other thing to talk about so that we make progress? It's a journey of hope. That is the conclusion.
Okay, so I want to ask this question. So, what is the difference between a resume and a CV?
Okay, great. So quickly, resume is just a skeleton of everything you've done in a maximum of 2 pages. That is a resume, right? So resume don't have a lot of details. For example, you will just have a heading of your name, your email, maybe your LinkedIn account underlined. You come talk about your education. You talk about your working experience. You talk about your leadership. You talk about your awards. Then you add your referees and other. If you have other sessions, you add it. That is it. That is resume. But when you come to CV, which is curriculum vitae, it is a bit detailed, right? where you are going to talk about every single bit, bringing issues of your secondary school and stuff. But in resume, at points of education, we just need your college or your university. We don't need your senior high school in it. But in CV, you have to bring it, right? So that is a general distinction I can give, that resume is just simplified skeleton, like it's just the skeleton outline. Pa, 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 pa. At national service, I did my national service cocoa board. Like your title will come, maybe outreach coordinator, Ghana Cocoa Board. What did you do at Ghana Cocoa Board? Maybe engaging stakeholders in cross-pollination exercise, like sharing of souvenirs to farmers. Like, hey, you outline the basic thing you did at Ghana Cocoa Board, right? And when outlining, you have to make numbers visible in your comments. For example, you were in charge of distributing souvenirs to 100 farmers. You were in charge of going to 7 radio stations in Ghana, right? Speaking to farmers about best practices. So you have to highlight all these things that you did. The number of people that were in your care and the impact that that occurred because of what you did. So that is it. That is the difference.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Okay, so another thing, is it always the case that you would have to present your referees on the resume? Because there was this session I joined, University of Buffalo.
Mhm.
So they taught how to make
Is it University State of Buffalo? Is it
no,
University of New York Buffalo or Canisius University Buffalo?
no, so it's the New York zone, University
Okay.
of Buffalo at New York. So
Yeah.
the
Okay.
the woman said with the resume, you don't have to put your referees on it. So the idea is that since the program requires you to send in recommendations, because you would have to put their mails there for them to upload, then it's not needed that you bring it on your resume, just for you to keep up the 2 pages as you mentioned.
Yep.
So I
Yeah.
would want to know if, I mean, is the ideal if you can take it out. I feel like every school and what they require. So maybe it
That
might
is
be
it.
for their school and
That
not
is
for
the bottom
everyone.
line. That is the bottom line. So it depends, right? It depends on the school. As you gave the example, right? There are schools that will just talk about a complementary effort, like your recommenders are your referees, right? But there are some that will not think that way, or that will not take it to be that way. So you can better clarify it from your school or from the career services. There are some schools you just go straight to Google. Google is a best friend in all things, right? AI has come to make things very easy as well, and they are going to change the world in the next few years to come, right? So um, you just type on Google search like a sample resume according to Massachusetts State University. PDF will come. You check every information about how they want their resume will be there, right? So for example, let me share my screen and check out one or two things for you. Let me share and check. Which school do you want me to use? Ima?
Oh, sorry, I
Hello?
was talking. Sorry,
Yeah,
I was muted. I'm saying use University of Rochester.
Rochester. Okay, Rochester. So resume sample at PDF. Okay, PDF at Rochester University, right? Rochester. I
Yeah,
don't know if
University of Rochester. Yeah.
okay. Is it University or Rochester?
University of Rochester.
Okay. University of Rochester. University Rochester. Okay, so like this. So you see, resume template and examples. Yeah, this is so you can check it out to see how they want their resumes. So a resume is often then a first document student create to tell their story. So you can get the specific order or formatting that your university want. So CV, PDF, you can download it and check out, right?
Yeah.
So for example, it is CV. You can download it here. This is it, right? Sample CV. This is how they want it to appear. You get it?
Yeah.
So this is how they want it to appear. So you tailor it according to this style. You see, they did not request for recommenders.
Yes. Yes.
Recommenders is not part of the session. So with this, you are good to go without recommenders. And as I said, maximum of 2 pages.
Yes.
So that is basically what it is. You can be specific in everything you do. And I'm very happy when these questions come so that the answers are going to be well targeted and more relevant. Because in a presentation, I will not think about this and bring it in. But when the questions come, it will come out with the relevant answers. And I think this is very beneficial to you in terms of your resume and CV structuring. And it will be very beneficial to other people as well who are drafting their CVs and they know how it will suit their university and stuff. So that is basically what it is. I don't know if you have additional questions.
I'm fine for now.
Very good. Very good. Very important as well. Great. So it's almost time. I just want to be sure that everyone is safe because if you would want to come to study abroad, like if you want to study abroad, let me put it that way, you have October, the one we are in, November, December. That is the best times you must make your decisions. You might put in all your applications. This is the time you must do it. Don't wait until if you are doing service by 2 months to end your service, then you come and think about after NSS what next. No, by then you have missed a lot of opportunities and time has just passed your head. It has passed over your head. So this is the time before you start active NSS work. For now, it is more of introduction, more of showing you how the work is done. You have a lot of flexibility. Use those times to do your statement of purpose, your search for schools, reaching out to faculty, try to gather a lot of things to put in for your application so that you will get spaces in fall 2025 than to wait until things are a bit late and it's left for the background and backyard schools, right? So that's my advice for everyone. This is what I want to say, right? I don't know if there is anyone with any concern or any question. Okay, so this has been a very great. I just want to close it up. I don't know if there are concerns. If they are not, I would want to just stay here and thank everyone. I just want to give some few seconds. If there are no questions, I will just close it up. Later, we will continue next week. Next week, we are going to use the same link. You can share with other serious persons who would want to study abroad and they can join as well. The only thing that I'm hoping that I'll get time to do is most people are sending me CVs, resumes too, and I am just looking if I can get time to. The most important thing is you being convinced that you're doing the right things. That is it. Okay. So in absence of any further questions, deliberations, clarifications, I would want to, Tony, do you want to come on board with something? Oh, Yeah, good.
Oh, I'm okay.
Okay, that's great. So, in absence of anything, I would want to say a very big thank you to everyone for participating in this session. It has been out of voluntary, like it was just voluntary, opted to have the session, and not that it was just something created to pull you into. And I really appreciate that readiness, because that starts everything. When you come out of your own to do something, you do it with all your commitment than when it is forced on you to do it. Okay, so I think it's a great moment, and I really appreciate everyone's time. I am always available to help any means possible I can. So you can reach out to me, very active on LinkedIn. Then it'll come to WhatsApp and as well. So in any case, I want to see if I can create a WhatsApp platform for people who might be interested in study abroad so that they can add their friends. Um, that is, let me do it quickly and put the link in the chat